Hey guys, welcome to another Coturnix Corner Live. Give me 1 second. So we are kind of screwed up here today. Technical difficulties from day one. Um, there's HP. Welcome to the show, HP.
Got that Bluetooth fixed?
No, I don't. I got my earbuds in and they're not working, so we're just going to take them out and use the speakers. That's okay. Anyhow, what do you think?
I've lost you. I can't hear you, Terry.
How about now? Should be
I
working now.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
More technical difficulties. I took my earbuds out and it didn't like it for some reason. But anyhow, again, thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Joining me tonight is HP Murray from Go Forage Quail, and we are going to be talking about um, Gamebirds, also Coturnix, but mainly Gamebirds. We've had a lot of people in the past question um, about Gamebirds, and I don't know anything about them. So I talked to HP, and he said that he would come on the show and share with you all his knowledge and his experience with keeping and raising game birds. So first, I got a couple quick announcements. As always, shout out to our sponsors, Go for Ridge Quail, HP Murray, and Hatching Time. These guys donate prizes to give away each week on the live streams. HP gives us a 30 count of mixed hatching eggs, and Hatching Time donates a $50 gift certificate, which a couple lucky people in the audience tonight will be selected for that drawing. And if you would comment either Go for Ridge or Hatching Time, and we'll select a couple winners later on in the live stream. I do have one thing I want to bring up real quick about the kids program. I was going to announce the winner of this month's, or actually next month's, Coturnix Kids Program winner, but I couldn't get a hold of the parents yet. So I usually wait until I get a hold of them prior to making the announcement. So hopefully it'll be on Sunday's live stream. Oh, let's see what else. For those of you who have been waiting for the incubators, I finally got my shopping cart working. So they are back on the. As a matter of fact, I just got an email about on Unreal. They're back on the website. Hopefully, the shopping cart will be working correctly. And if you want one of those, check it out, and we'll get it loaded up and or built or cut out and shipped out to you. Uh, okay, HP, let's go ahead and jump into it because I've been blabbing on for almost 10 minutes now. So I think it's your turn. HP, tell us a little bit about what experience you have with game birds and what kind of birds you kept and whatnot, and then we'll get into your presentation.
Let me put out a disclaimer before I even start. I'm not an expert. I'm not a geneticist. I'm a trial by error man. And I take knowledge and use that to gain wisdom. So whatever I might say tonight, however I may do, like with Coturnix, it's whatever you do and feel more comfortable with. Uh, as far as what I have, uh, I uh, I lost most of my game birds. What I didn't lose in the hurricane, I lost in the snowstorm. They're in the woods behind the house. All my pheasants, my chuckers, my bob whites, they're trying it in the wild now. So we'll see how they survive. And so far, we've got several spottings of the pheasants. They're ranging anywhere from a half a mile to 3 mile from me, but they've been they've been out there since September, so they're kind of smart.
Yeah.
More than some of the others. The only thing I have now is I have a I had one cage of chuckers that I hadn't put in the flight pen, so I have those, and I had bought last August. I bought another gentleman out, and he had Valley, Mountain, and Gambrel, and I have not got them where they need to be. They're still caged, quarantined where I put them when I bought them, and I even lost about 100 of those during the hurricane. So I got about, I don't know, I may still have 100 left, but I don't anticipate having any eggs from them this year if I get any. I plan on incubating myself and building me a flock from that. But first, I got to get some aviaries fixed to put them in. They just do better in aviaries than they do cage like I got them. But I weren't prepared for them when I bought them. It was just a deal I couldn't turn down. I had wanted them for years, and they're kind of expensive. And he tempted me above that I could bear, so they're still in cages now. But that's where I'm at with my game birds, other than the fact I'm hatching chuckers right now. I've hatched probably between 500 and 600 so far, and have another 500 eggs incubating right now. So we'll have more in about 2 weeks.
Nice. Would you say the game birds are harder or easier, or about the same as keeping Coturnix?
They're harder. They're not impossible, but they're harder. Number one, they're much more cannibalistic. And I don't advise a newbie jumping on a game bird. I mean, now that's my opinion. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's a different animal for its breeding and housing. Depending on where you at, it's going to determine the type of housing you're going to have. But I had a person message me today that's got some bob whites hatching and some Coturnix. And she says, "Can I brood them together?" And I said, "Definitely not. You can incubate them together and hatch them in the same hatcher if the hatch date is the same, and be fine. But when you take them out of that incubator or that hatcher, and you put them in the brooder, within 24 hours, those game birds will kill those Coturnix. They will peck them across the top of the beak, and they die. So definitely. Now I have in the past ran adults together, but that was in an aviary, not in cages. But you definitely can't brood them together and grow them out together. They're just too cannibalistic.
Right. What about feed? Is the feed requirements different for both?
I feed them all the same. So yeah, the game bird feed that you buy for Coturnix that's what it is, game bird feed. So I feed mine all the same. I feed 28% starter until, I don't know, 3 months old, something like that. And then I switch them over then to my show flock layer pellets, which is 22% protein. And that's another thing a lot of people don't think is the time frame of growing these birds out. They got a lot more drawbacks to them than the Coturnix has, in the fact that it's 26 weeks to adulthood compared to 10 weeks. And 23 days to hatch compared to 17, and it just they're just a little more difficult, but not impossible.
Are they as prolific as Coturnix? As far as laying eggs, are they laying as many eggs?
Yes, yes, they will lay, but there again, they're more seasonal. And see, right now, there's a few that's laying now, but most of your pheasants, your chuckers, and your bob whites, most of them that's not being manipulated hadn't started laying yet. They won't start laying till probably sometime in April or May. But now there is some bigger farms, just like they are in Coturnix, and some of them use light, and they continue to lay, year round. I've never done that on mine because I need the winter time to. Since my primary is Coturnix, I need the fall and winter for my hatching of those purposes. So I don't need the Gamebird eggs because, like I say, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I don't sell them in the winter.
Right. Okay.
I know some breeders that do, but
right. HP, I'll go ahead and bring up that presentation that you or the photos that you sent me, and tell us a little bit about what's going on here in these photos.
Okay. The chicks that's the chuckers I hatched. They're 10 days old now, 12 days old. And that's just a shot of them in the brooder house. And that was what my fly pen looked like. Let's see, that was the pheasants there. And that's another thing about these game birds. On the dirt like that, you have to be very careful, especially with the chuckers, more so than the bob whites and the pheasants. They have a tendency to develop worms more so than the others. And I actually, when I have my chuckers on the ground like that, which I don't usually, except growing out, I usually don't leave them on the ground. I cage them after they're adults. I do on occasion put ivermectin in the water for them to ever so often to keep the worms and the parasites out of them.
Sure. Okay.
That's my little jewels that I got. I can't really look at them and distinguish which bird is which, but that's a shot of, I believe that's the gambrel there, of the gambrel. I think I may be wrong. As y'all know, my vision's not very well now. I need another surgery to be able to see properly, but I think that's the well, I know that's the gambrel cage there. And let's see what we got on the next.
They're really similar to the Californians, aren't they? With that little thing on their head.
Yeah, that's the distinguishing difference. One of them, I don't know where the next slide will show or not, but the mountain quail will have a straight plumage, and sometimes there'll be two of them, two straight plumages, top knots, whatever they call them. Yep. And there's a mountain and there's a valley, and like I say, the mountain will have can have two, and the bars on the below the wings on the mountain will be white bars, where these is crested, or have whatever you want to call it. That's another distinguishing factor. And
when you're breeding these HP, do you breed them communally like you do with the Coturnix, or do you have to pair them up? How do they do that?
I do. Mine, when I had gambrel before many years ago when my wife was living. She had to have them, so I got some of them from, I believe it was Southwest Gamebird in Michigan or Michigan. Anyway, the gentleman up there, and I put them in I had them in an aviary, and they did fine like that. But I think some people actually, especially with the mountain quail, they actually pair them up. I know he had these I bought. He had one section there. He said that was his old pair that he had in there. He just had them two in the cage and had them banded. And of course, I lost the male during the hurricane, so I just got the female. But they're actually the mountain is actually a bigger bird than the gambrel in the valley.
Do they require?
It'll work.
Go ahead, HB.
You can pair them or you can do communal, either way.
Mm-hmm. Do they require a special license, like a game bird license or something, depending on what state you live in? Or
yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not 99% sure of this, but I'm 98. Every state is going to require all native birds to have a license.
Okay. Yeah, I know Florida,
in Georgia, and there again, some states it's like NPIP. It's crazy. One state one thing, one state another, and I think mine cost me. It's either $35 or $45 a year. But what a lot of people here's what a lot of people don't realize, Terry, about game birds. I get calls all the time. I'd like to have 100 to release on the farm. Well, I can't sell you 100 to release on the farm. That's against the law. Only a license. You got to get a license to be a breeder, then you can release. But and a lot of people don't think anything about it. It's my property. I won't buy whites on it. I'll just buy me some. But it don't work that way.
Yep. Unless you got hurricanes coming through every year.
Yeah, I've released on some that ain't my property too. But
okay, what are these good things?
That is the chucker.
Oh, okay. They are.
That is the idiots. The idiots of game birds. Now, if you want something cannibalistic and something that is sprayed roach crazy, get you some of these and try to keep them in a cage. Really? Son, they will flush every time you breathe. Now, they're beautiful birds, and they do great on the ground. The one on the right was, I think that's some that I had years ago. I ordered some from a boy in Tennessee. He had, I don't know how many different colors, and I had like 3 or 4 different. I had red ones and had Rook's color, and white ones, Rook's, gray, and I believe I had a black too. But they're beautiful birds.
Yeah.
I'm yet to eat one though. Cool. Everybody asks, how do they taste? I don't know. I can't afford to eat them when I can sell them. Sell them, go buy a steak. How about it?
That's funny. There's some pretty birds.
Yeah, that's my favorite. If I had a favorite in the game bird, I don't know where he's a member of the group or not, but Harley Mabe, he has a bunch of the pheasants. He's got 15 different colors. I mean, he's got some beautiful birds. He posts them on Instagram about every day. He'll post a different one, a different color. But
what are these called? What are these types?
The one on the right is the ring neck. That's just
Mhm.
the old standard wild type ring neck. And the
Right.
purple one there, it's I can't remember I can't pronounce it. Uh, I can't remember how to pronounce the name. It's a mutinic. Well, I can't speak in English, but it's a purple bird.
Okay. Is
It'd
it in the
it'd
ringneck
be
family?
deep purple. Yeah, it's just a mutation,
Oh,
like the in Bob White's, you got the Mexican speckled, uh,
right.
the snowflake, and so forth. But the male, now that's a hen there. The male will be solid purple.
Really?
I mean, he'll just shimmer in the sunshine. He is beautiful. Now I messed around and had one uh, that crossbred, and I had a purple one with a ring neck. Had a white. Well, it weren't really white. It was more gray. Where the
Yep.
white one, the ring neck was white. There, his one was a gray color, and he was unique. But he's in the woods now too.
Brian Epp is saying a melanistic mutant. Is that sound
Yep, that's
familiar?
it.
Or that's it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Cool.
My tongue's too short to say that word.
All right. I promised everybody we'd be talking a little bit about Coturnix also. So I threw a few of your Coturnix photos in there.
Yeah, that's a potpourri of a grow out pen there. We got. Let me see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 or either 6 lines of sparkly now,
Really?
and in addition to my others, uh, that these uh, uh, these sparklies they making. I got. Well, I only have one hatching time uh,
Mhm.
layer cage, and I've got it filled up with different colors, and I got my sparkly roosters for males over them, and I'm getting some beautiful colors. If I can just figure out now how to maintain them and get them to
Sure.
breeding true.
Yep.
But that sparkly gene, it really definitely enhanced the color on any of them.
All right. What's the one on the right again?
You name it, and you can have it. It's been called everything from draw free
Sparkly
to
Fleet.
bar draw.
Right.
Bar,
Yeah, I remember the
bar
barn
draw.
rush. You're right. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. And that's my orange tree. That's what I was taking a picture of. Still got oranges on it right on
Your
the back.
oranges look better than ours.
That's the sparkly Egyptian,
Okay.
and the one on the right is the that's a sparkly pearl. Yeah, that
And I
Egyptian is a
you've got
beautiful
these all
bird.
available, right?
Yes, that's the Fab Fee
Yep.
hen on the left, rooster. Actually that is a sparkly male Fab Fee on the right. Uh,
Oh, okay.
he still has some of the gray in him, but that tan feathers makes him the male. Where normally see your regular Fab Fee would just be white.
Mhm.
That's a close up of the Egyptian hen, uh, the sparkly. You can see by the pattern on the chest the difference in the
Yep.
bar and how it goes down the back. How the sparkly changes that from triangles to and dots to that.
Gotcha. Okay, that is the last of our slides. I think we can go ahead and jump over into the chat room. I see there's a few questions. Why is this not working?
After all that talking I done, they still got questions.
I don't know why this thing won't remove from the screen. Maybe if I do it up here. Well, I had nothing but problems today. There we go. Just had to hit that button right. Oh yeah, plenty of questions. Guys, if you have any questions for HP, if you would type the letter Q in front of your questions. I'm not going to read all the comments because I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure HP doesn't want to be here either all night anyhow. We do have quite a few people who checked in or saying hello. Let's see. I had a question for you again. I forgot because I always talk and forget my questions. Let's see. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you, HP. Those eggs you sent me for that test hatch for the incubators, they hatched out. I got a pretty decent hatch, about a 75%. Are you hearing me okay, HP?
No, we both buffering on my end. I heard you then.
Okay. Yeah. I noticed yours kind of paused and freezes briefly for a second, but we'll get through it. All right. Let me see what I can find here.
Mr. Elon may not be working today. That might be what's wrong with mine.
What is it?
I got Starlink, so Elon may be off today. Maybe the reason mine's not working.
He took the day. Yeah. All right. Where are we at here? Maurice Strauble says, question, wanting to get into bob whites. What are a couple good things to know about getting started?
Well, Maury, you know more than I do. Just be prepared. They're very, very flighty. Even in your brooders. Man, in about less than a week, you have to have a top on it if you ain't got one on it. Like I'm using those big Caltros, that's what, 2.5, 3 foot tall. It don't take them, but just they're much more flightier than Coturnix, and
Yeah, we're losing you a little bit there, HP. Kind of broken up. I'm going to give Elon a call here and see if he can't do something.
and I ain't 30 feet from the router.
Huh.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, sometimes it's mine does that. That's I got to hardwire mine. I can't do Wi-Fi on live stream. So, all right, let me see here. Costello Hobby Farms says, question: I'm going to get into game birds for the first time. What bird would you recommend?
Well, I would start with the bob white. Number one, he's there's more of them. The eggs will be cheaper, and you can see what you're going to be dealing with. And if you think you can cope with the difference in the nature of the birds, then you can advance to the more higher price birds, I'll say.
What would you say the best game bird? What would you say the best game bird would be for somebody looking to get into, making a little bit of money with them, market wise?
if you're inexperienced in game birds, I would go with either the Georgia Giant or the Wisconsin Giant, Bob White. Uh, Two reasons. He's a good egg layer, and he makes a big bird. They get up. They'll be bigger than your Coturnix. They'll get up a pound or a little better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. William says, "Nice seeing you on here again." Nice seeing you in here
Yeah,
too,
you
William.
need to call me. You need to call me. I need some supervision, William.
How's the brooder house coming?
I'd say I'm about half through with it. I'm hoping to get it insulated next week. I'm hoping the man's going to get to me and get it sprayed. And once he gets it sprayed, then all I like the interior walls and building my brooder pens.
Okay. I hope you've got
about
help on
half
that.
done. I mean, nope, I do it every bit by myself.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Pretty
I've
much
stuck every tuba 6, tuba 12 and everything.
Wow. Let's see. Jeremiah says, a question for ringneck chicks. How much space do they need for brooding them? And how long do you save the eggs for incubating?
You just, on the space, I'd say a ringneck, it takes about the same amount of space for that as it does a regular chicken. I mean, that's about, he's not quite as big as a regular chicken when he hatches out, but he gets there in a hurry. And how long to save the eggs is debatable. You're going to have 7 days, you're going to have 10 days, and I'm not going to debate that. I'll just say this: if that bird's in the wild, how many days will she lay before she goes broody? That's, to me, common sense, nature, rather than debate 7 days and 10 days. Now, I don't go that long because I get impatient. I get a half a rack. I want to stick them in there.
Savage Daughter Farm says, excited for my chuckers.
2 more weeks and they'll be coming.
There you go. Woodtick 1970 says, question, what are the pros and cons to chuckers?
The biggest con, he's mean. Give you an example. A buddy of mine that we hatched chuckers out last year. I lost mine, and he wanted, and he lost most of his in the hurricane, and he wanted some more. So he says, and I have, like I say, a small cage of them that's almost adults. He says, I'll tell you what I'll do. He says, I've got 6 adults that I had hatched that we raised last year. I'll bring those to you, and then I'll just raise me some more chicks from from these eggs here. Well, he brought them to me. I didn't think anything about it. We walked out to the thing. I put them in the cage with the ones I had. And I go back the next morning, I got 6 dead chuckers in the cage. They killed all 6 of them. So they are mean. The pros is he's a bigger bird. He lays the egg ain't quite as big as a pheasant, but it's bigger than a Coturnix. I'd say they 22, 24 grams. And if you're wanting something for sporting, he is very, very flighty. He's much more difficult than a Bob White. I mean, when he gets up, he's wide open. And But like I say, they nice. I don't know. They weigh what, pound and a half. They nice big birds if they eat well. Like I say, if I can ever afford to eat one, I'm gonna find out.
That's great. Dave says, "What's your favorite game bird?"
It must be the chucker. I keep hatching more of them. But as far as and now the reason for that is the market for them is better in my area. I have, God, probably 4 to 5 big Bob White. I'm talking hatching 30 and 40,000 a week in my area. So they've got the Bob White market. There's a gluttony, and like I say, this chucker is becoming more popular for these plantation hunts like these guys are doing. Number one, they're a little bigger bird, and it's something new that they hadn't seen. So I've got a better market for it, and that's why I'm doing it. But now, as far as the cosmetic end of it, you can't beat the look of that pheasant, them old 3-foot tail feathers and them flopping in the wind. They're beautiful birds.
Yeah.
But, there again, you got to try them and see what your favorite is.
Yep. Muddy Acres Homestead says, "How long do you keep breeder Bob Whites?"
Be quiet.
I kept mine 3 years.
Really?
Simply because they don't, they wouldn't label about 3 months out of the year. And so, yeah.
Brian
There
says,
again, every operation.
Brian says, "None of my birds are laying yet besides my Coturnix and blue scales." I think the blue scale's a beautiful bird. I did see a picture of them.
Yeah, I got, Brian, we may have to cut a deal. I need some blue scales.
Come on. Makes you want to go out and see your puppies. Let's see here. HP, if you come across a favorite question or something, we got to give away some eggs tonight. So jot it down if you know who the winner is, or jot the name. Woodtick says, "Question: What are the housing requirements for chuckers in cages?"
There again, I'm different from everybody else. My Coturnix cages are 8 inches. I went from 14 inches down to 8 inches in height. And on my chuckers, I'm at about 12 to 13 inches. Same dimensions. I do 6 and 8 foot cages, but they're only 2 foot rollouts and about 12 inches tall on them, as far as my cage.
Mm-hmm.
And I do them just like I do the Coturnix. However many I can get in there without them getting overheated and fighting.
When you're doing the flight pen, keeping them out there, how on earth do you catch them when you need to, like, bring them in or put them in cages and whatnot?
Very, very, very carefully. Now
A big fishing net?
Yeah, I've got like a 3 foot dip net.
It's
a big old thing. And some people even has, and I didn't because I've not been in it with enough numbers to do that, but they will build little coops on the end of it, for them to get in.
Oh, okay.
Like you would have out of the rain. And what you can do, you can build a little chute just like you would for cattle or something other, and you can your quail stuff. You can just Bob Whites. You can just drive them in, shut the door, and then take the dip net and catch them. But yeah,
That's a good idea.
that's the way to do it.
Let's see here. Let's see. Joy says, question, what makes the sparklies different from the other varieties?
Just the way it changes the color pattern. I mean, it's just a gene like a celadon. You know, it's the same Coturnix, whether it be a fawn or rooks or pharaoh, whatever. It just changes the pattern of the color, and sometimes the entire color. And like, for example, on your fawn, instead of being a pretty golden color, they will be almost black when it's I should have sent some pictures of those, but I didn't think about it. But it's just a difference in the color pattern that it makes.
Allie says, orange juice and coffee, HP. Beautiful tree. Like your orange tree. That was a good looking orange
Check
tree.
that out, Allie.
Aha, the main cup.
Check that out, Allie.
Very cool.
Hey, I used to have a favorite geneticist, and she sent me a coffee cup.
Nice.
She sent me some maple syrup, some coffee, and
Can't beat
then I
that.
found out she had dumped. Then she dumped me.
Yep. That'll happen. Always playing games.
But I love that cup.
Oh,
She
yeah,
done a job. She's getting some more eggs. She just don't know it. Whenever she's ready.
Debbie says, what do I cross with jumbo white to get gray tuxedo back? I have no idea. I don't do the tuxedos.
Yeah, if you want to jump, if you want to, you want a gray tuxedo.
Gray tuxedo, yeah.
I guess any kind of fab fee, whatever, cross it with a white and see what comes out.
Right.
Tuxedos, they don't breed true. You got to go with the genetics on it most of the time.
Yeah. Steve says, my wife hasn't approved my quail expansion yet, but I have a strange feeling some of those pearls will be ordered by the end of the week.
Yeah, that's been a hot item this week. I mean, this year, more so than yeah, they're beautiful birds.
Oh yeah. Holland Hillbilly says, question, can you recommend a place to buy an egg washing machine for quail? I've never used one.
Nope.
Me neither. Mr. Obvious says, question, any of the birds shown have issues with higher elevations above 4,000 feet?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, see all your mountain quail, you gamble that they there already. That's their natural habitat. And like I say, I've lived in Colorado, but didn't have quail when I was there. So I don't know how Coturnix handle. I'm sure they handle the altitude fine. I just don't know how the incubation is there.
Right.
And I know I've got lots of lots of siblings up in Alaska. I imagine the elevation there is pretty high too.
Okay, John says, question, with all the variation of Coturnix, does it change the time to mature or laying speed, or is it just the looks and size?
Just the looks and size. uh, and how they're brooded. Uh, some people, I see people all the time. Mine laid at 5 weeks. Mine's 14 weeks. 14 weeks old and they hadn't laid. It's just going to vary. Uh, my opinion on that is I don't want a 5-week-old one laying. In fact, my grow out pens don't get any light until they're 6 to 8 weeks old. That's on. I mean, I want him to be 12, 14, 16 weeks old before he lays. I want him mature.
Sure, exactly.
And that way, I have no issue with prolapse either.
Yep. Brian says, question, did you raise any other breed of pheasants, Goldens, Reeves, etc.?
No. Like I say, I have no pheasant at all right now.
CJ says, question, if I was to get into breeding bobwhite or any game bird for that matter, how many would you recommend to start with and a male to female ratio? That was another question I had for you as far as I've read that some of the game birds are monogamous. Can't even say it. Yeah, it's that short tongue. HP.
I got that one down. You just get the mutant. You get that mutant ninja turtle, and I'll get the monogamous.
There you go.
But no, they. I mean, I think they can and will be, but it don't have to be. Cause like I say, these big bobwhite breeders, they do them 3-to-1 in the cages, and you know, three hens to a male, or it's just like this. And
Gotcha.
And how many would you recommend to start with? Whatever you can handle. They're not going to be as productive year round as your Coturnix, but you'll get about an egg every day for a couple, 3 months.
All right. Tim says, question, if I have a black and white sparkly hen and want to get more of that color, how do I achieve that? I only have a brown colored sparkly roux and a Pharaoh roux.
You need to message me and get some white sparkly eggs. I don't know how we produced them. I got them from Germany and have kept reproducing them. I didn't. They're not an outcross. Mine came as they are. I'm sure that you could take and if you cross those, take the ones that hatches black and white and breed them back with daddy or mom or whatever, and keep doing that away until you got you a line of them. But it takes time.
Here you go. Dane says, HP, if you need help, I'm right down the road, sir.
If I gotta ask, Dane.
Yep.
I know, brother, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Allie says, question, HP, have you had a lot of interesting folks looking to obtain particular species from you to train their bird dogs?
Nope. Like I say, I got one breeder in particularly a few miles from me. That's what he does. He don't particularly, he raises bobwhites, but not necessarily for the market. He has a plantation, and he trains bird dogs for the people. So if anybody's occasionally I'll have one, they'll come pick up a few males to train their dogs with, and they do okay, but most of them prefers the bobwhite to do it with.
Yeah, I had a guy north of me, about 30 miles north of me. He used to buy Coturnix from me a couple times a year for training his dogs. and he asked me. I guess his dogs were getting a little bit older, and he said, "Can you get me some bobwhite chicks and hatch them out for him?" So I did that, and I guess he was really happy with them. So.
Mm-hmm.
Little Wormy says, "What's your heaviest Coturnix to date?"
Don't be mad at me. I don't weigh them. I feel of them.
Yeah.
I hadn't weighed a bird in 5 years,
Really?
but I guarantee you I can pick him up, hold him a few minutes, and be within an ounce of what he weighs.
Impressive.
I've had some that went over a pound, but notice the words some, small amount. There's a lot of these XXLs out there that's looking for your dollar. If you get a 14-ounce one, you got a good bird. If it's a good line.
Okay, Emily says, "Question: What sort of housing do you recommend for ringneck pheasants?"
Definitely, you want to do a flat pen. They just they're too big and too beautiful to try to cage up.
Sure.
I mean, those feathers they're something else. Like I say, they'll be almost 3 foot long. Those tail feathers will, and
What are you doing
you don't want to. Yeah, put them in a fly pen.
Okay, Kevin says, "Are you raising them for dog training?"
No, everything I raise is for eggs.
Okay. Olive wants to know, what's the best game bird for a small homestead?
I don't recommend game birds for a homestead. I'd go with a Coturnix. If you want meat and eggs, you get it a lot quicker and much more docile. I guess if I was going to do a game bird, it'd be a bob white.
Okay, Emily says, "Question: Do you have any tips on raising bobwhites for dog training / hunting? I've heard avoiding handling them helps them flush better."
Like I say, I've never done it, but yes, I know some that do. They have their grow out pens literally in the woods,
Really?
and they may go to them once a month, and to make sure that the water and feed is there. I don't know that it makes them flush better. It makes them more wild. But like I say, if you want something to flush, get a chucker. He's straight up.
Really? Let's see here. Sexton Outdoors says, "Do you got to have blinders on pheasants in flight pens? And can you raise them in cages?"
I never put any on mine, but then I didn't have that many. As you saw in the picture there, maybe 30 or 40 at the most. And I didn't have blinders on mine. But there again, like I said, most of your game birds are cannibalistic. And again, no, I wouldn't raise them in cages. You can do anything, but I wouldn't.
Right.
Not that they wouldn't probably reproduce there, but and lay, but just, man, that's too pretty a bird to mess up, and you can leave him on the dirt and still get the egg.
Muddy Acres Home says, "This question: Do you cross Mexican speckled and standard bobwhites?"
Don't have Mexican speckles. I'm sure they will cross though.
Okay, Little Wormy says, "Question: What kind of coffee do I need to bring when I come to Gopher Ridge to get eggs?"
I should have brought the bag over here. I can't. Geneva or something other. Colombian roast. I just had to order a box a few minutes ago.
There you go. Debbie says, "Question: Are predators less of a problem for chuckers since they're bigger than quail? And can they defend themselves better than quail?
Cookie, what do you want her for?
I don't have any for like say mine. I've had no issues with predators, but I'm sure that they are more aware of their predative instincts than a Coturnix is. I know because, like I say, if I throw a Coturnix out and he won't last 2 days, and these chuckers and pheasants, I'm seeing them months later.
Hmm.
So they more up on the what the predator is than Bob Whites and Coturnix are.
Tater Farm says, could there ever be celadons and any other game birds besides Coturnix?
Only if it's a mutation,
Cookie.
because they don't cross, contrary to what some people say. And yeah, they may get one to breed, but it's not going to be viable.
This is good news. Danny says, good evening from coastal North Carolina. The Terry DIY incubator did good last week, hatched 110 out of 125 shipped eggs. Much better than I expected for the first hatch. Cool. Congratulations, Danny. That's a decent hatch.
Can't beat that with a stick.
Exactly. All right. Cookie, that's enough. Don says, question, are your white sparkly different than the pearls?
That is the sparkly pearl is the white. It's not the dotted white sparkly. I've not crossed that. My pearls they were white with the sparkly gene.
Sexton Outdoor says, what's the root to hen ratio on pheasants?
There again, I was running like, I don't know, 1 to 5 maybe in the flat pen, simply because I was short on roosters and I had no issues with the fertility on the eggs. They did fine.
Were you incubating the eggs or were you letting them hatch them out themselves?
No, I was incubating.
Kind of thought that, but you never
Now
know.
those, you're right.
Olive says, question, I lost my pansy roux and hen last season, so I'm left with one pansy hen. If I cross her to my het pansy roux, will I get any homozygous pansy in that first cross, or will I need to line breed more?
You asking the wrong man. I'm not genetically inclined. I have no idea how to answer that.
Yeah, Allie, if you're still in the house, that's a good one for you. I would think that you're going to have to breed on. I think you're going to get heterozygous first.
Yeah.
All right, where are we?
But I don't want to say something and then get reprimanded.
I don't worry about it. I tell everybody I don't know what I'm doing, so it doesn't matter. Don's question, why did the breeders all go to the extra large Coturnix eggs for jumbos? They don't want to fit the incubator quail rails. Do you think you get larger birds from larger eggs?
I got some. Oh, you said quail rails. I didn't intentionally try to breed for bigger eggs. It just happened. As you keep picking, if you keep choosing better birds, better hens, and feed the correct diet to them, they will just evolve. I mean, it's just like you start out with a standard. You can work with a standard long enough and create a jumbo. And this is what's happening with our jumbo birds. The birds are getting a little bigger. Mine hadn't got bigger in proportion than the egg, but I'm getting 3 lines of eggs now. It's pretty good size eggs, and it weren't my intention. I was afraid if I go to getting these 16, 17 gram eggs, I'm gonna go to getting prolapse, but I didn't. That's the thing. But there again, I'm waiting till mine's 12, 14 weeks old before I put a rooster with them too, and let them start, have light enough to lay. And I don't know. I like the bigger eggs. I won't say they hatch any better than a 12 gram, and I won't say the chick will grow off and be any bigger, but he'll be bigger when he hatches. So that's where I'm at with it. Like I say, it wasn't an intentional thing. It has just happened.
Yeah. No, when I was selecting eggs, I selected the eggs that would fit in my Turner rails. Didn't do me any good. I didn't have enough size, big enough Turner rails to put the big jumbo eggs in. So I think only once I had a set of twins. They didn't hatch out. Well, they did hatch out, but the one twin absorbed part of the other one, so we had 4 legs.
That's what happened to me. I got one double yolk to 2 days of hatching, and it died. And when I opened it up, one had absorbed most of the other. I did see a guy on, I don't know what group it was in, said he hatched a pair a week or so ago, but there again, I don't know. It's rare.
Let's see. Muddy Acre says, question, why is Cookie being a diva tonight? I don't know what her problem is. I let her out to go hang with the puppies, and she wanted right back in here. So what Tick says, do you sell chucker hatching eggs or just the birds?
When I had them, I sold them. And all I got now is just the chicks that I've hatched. I may have a few eggs in a couple, 3 weeks. I don't know. Mine ever starts laying. It'll be a small amount because I think I got maybe like 20 left that's in the cage, but they're not laying yet.
Good. Muriel says, I'm new to all this. What does fee mean in reference to the different types of quail?
It's just a color. For example, the easiest I can explain is the wild type or Pharaoh is your brown color. And then when you introduce the fee gene, it turns it to gray instead of brown. It's gray and white. So like what we call the fab fee. I understand some of them now is producing Egyptian fees, which I don't know. I know what they're saying is Egyptian fee, but I don't know. I'd like to have some anyway, but basically it changes the color from the brown to gray.
I would think an Egyptian fee, I mean, in my mind, it's removing all browns and reds. So wouldn't it still be a fab fee? You know what I mean? Because basically Egyptian is just a pharaoh with roux. So if you add fee to it, I don't know. That's a different.
Allie needs to get on her keyboard and tell us something.
She's here.
I'm
just thinking, if I bred a fee to an Egyptian, I would think I'm just going to get fab fee. I don't know how the fee affects the roux gene, though. I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, that's me. I mean, they're both base Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got some in a cage I'm dealing with, and they're not a roux color, and they're not completely gray. So I don't know. I'm still tinkering with it. I intended to get with somebody that knows more than I do and see what they thought it was. What it
All
was
right,
showing
let's
up.
see.
So,
Costello says, any question, does any game bird meat taste better than another?
hey, I'd say uh, I've only ate pheasant and Bob White, and I really don't care for pheasant myself. That's just personal. But the others, uh, the mountain and the valley, they too small. I mean, you wouldn't want to eat them.
Okay, Olive says, question,
They
do you
like
think
the
the
butt.
chicken egg
They
shortage?
too are ornament.
Oh, sorry about that, HP. Olive says, do you think the chicken egg shortages will bring rise to the quail egg popularity?
If it brings any more, I don't know what we're gonna do because I'm still 3 or 4 weeks behind, and I don't know how many
Right.
orders I didn't get today. I ain't even looked, but it's been like this ever since the year before. In 2019, that's when it went crazy with me, and then COVID, and uh, like I say, I think if you're getting in it because of the egg shortage, you're doing the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying don't get into it, but because chicken eggs will be down in a little while.
Right. Allie, if you're here, explain to us how the feed gene affects Egyptians, what it does to the roux, and what was the other genetics question? HB, do you remember?
About the white and the sparkly, was that it?
Yeah, I
No,
think so.
no, the other one was what made the fab feed? I mean, what did the feed gene do? What
Oh,
effect
okay.
did it have?
Right.
That was the question. That was the question.
All right. Well, if she's still in here, hopefully she will chime in real quick. Anna Bishop says, questions. Have you had any quail that escaped and resisted capture?
Totally.
I get to where I don't even try to catch
Bring
them
your
anymore.
dog. Come on. If
Let's
you got a
see.
dog, bring your dog on and get it done, and we'll clean up some.
Right. All right. HP, did you select somebody that you wanted to give some hatching eggs to?
Yeah, let's go with the one about the feed. I don't
Oh,
remember who it was, but asked a
you're
question
gonna
about
make
what
me
did the
look
feed
for it.
gene do.
Uh,
I didn't, I'm a guest. I'm not taking notes. I'm lecturing.
all right. Whoever it was that asked about the feed gene, comment so I can find you. I can't find that original post.
I ain't got comments on my computer, so I'll see what you read is all I see.
Oh, okay. Here's the other one. Pansy and the het was the other question. I think
Right,
Allie.
yeah.
Anyhow, whoever it was that posted the fee question, comment real quick because you're going to get some hatching eggs. And let me go back up here real quick, find out who needs a hatching time.
While you're looking, I'll tell you this: if you go live Sunday,
Yeah.
I will, instead of doing 30 quail eggs, I'll do 20 chucker eggs for the giveaway. So remember that.
Really? I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. All right. Jessica Pell. Jessica, if you're still in the house, you are going to get a $50 Hatching Time gift certificate. And give me 2 seconds and I'll put my email address in here. I hope I spelled everything correctly. Terry at Coturnixcorner.com. What I need you winners to do is to send me all your shipping information. Make sure I get a good email, a good phone number, and a good name. I mean, if your name is not the same as what's on here. Okay. Allie says Rue cross fee is a bit complicated. Trying to find. Muriel Tillman. That was Muriel Tillman, HP.
Okay.
Got the hatching eggs. Okay, so Jessica Pell's the only one that we need to hear from yet, and we should be good to go. We got you, Muriel. You are getting the hatching eggs. Make sure that you email me. I'm going to put it back up on the screen again. Email me your shipping information. Don't forget a phone number and a good email address. And I will get that sent over to HB. CJ Sanders says, boy, I hope I can be there for the chuckers. Only 4 hatched out of the eggs I won a couple weeks ago. Dang incubator decided to kick the bucket. I scrambled to grab another one, and 4 were saved. Cool. Okay, here we go. Allie says, Rue is hemizygous, and Fee can be visually het and homo, so you get a mix, depending on if the Rue is carried by the male or hens only. I can explain in a larger comment under this video. Yeah, do that if you would, Allie. Comment in the description down below, or the comment section. That way it'll be there. Woodchick says congrats on the winner. Any last words of advice you want to give us, HP, before we pull the plug on this one?
Well,
no.
Keep your nose clean. Watch where you're going. So the other fella ain't watching out for you.
I hear you. All right, cool.
Enjoy it.
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and pull the plug on this one and let HP get ready for bed, because I know he's probably getting tired. And I got to head out in the shop and work. I got a couple incubators.
Time to get on the roof.
But I want to thank everybody for joining us.
Eggs to pick up.
Great question. HP's got to go collect some eggs. So, HP, thank you so much for joining us again. I really appreciate it. We need the experience, and you're the man. So, again, guys, I will see you on Sunday. And for those of you who are interested, HP is going to donate 20 chucker eggs to give away. So be there Sunday, morning musings. Hopefully I'll be there. So one more quick question and we'll pull the plug. Do you know of anyone who shipped eggs to Hawaii? I don't.
Not legally. They won't let them in.
Right. Wait, I know
really
somebody
strict.
that might. Get a hold of William Carl Foster. He might do it. Sorry, William. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thanks again for joining us.
I'll bail you out, William.
Have a good night. Thanks again, HP.
See y'all.
See you later.